If you want to live in your current situation and you feel like your best days are not coming, get off this podcast right now. This podcast is not for you. This podcast is for the women who believe that their better days are ahead of them and they are ready to grow, they're ready to go, they're ready to do something different in their life that's going to elevate them and change their life forever.
Pop for your girl.
That's right, it's a podcast.
It's pop for your girl.
We got to go out.
Pop for your girl. It's pop for your girl. Go.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl with Go Chalice Lewis here, and welcome to Pod For Yah Girl. Yes, you guys, we are back with another episode, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for rocking with Pod For Yah Girl. Y'all know every episode we have a Go Girl, and I am super excited to tell you guys that you are my Go Girl on this episode. Why you're my Go Girl? The reason why is because if this is not your first time listening to this episode, if this is your second or third or fourth time listening to this, I just want to say Go Girl, because guess what? Like, you could have been anywhere else. You could have spent your time listening or watching any other podcast, but you choose to spend it with Pod For Yah Girl, and I don't take it lightly. Also, everyone who we have been receiving some extreme love on TikTok, and I just want to shout out all the Pod For Yah Girl peeps on. I am just super excited for where this podcast is going, for everything that God has been doing in this podcast. And like I said, I do not take it lightly. This episode is going to be a real quickie. It's going to be a mini episode. But I, of course, want to shout you guys out and just let you guys know that you guys are the real MVPs of Pod For Yah Girl, because we could not do it without you. And for those of y'all that don't know, I have an online boutique and a storefront in the West End of Atlanta where I sell my clothing line and skincare line called Afrentic. Whoop, whoop. And so because y'all have been rocking with us at Pod For Yah Girl, I am doing an amazing discount for you guys, 50% off of any item at the store if you use the code POD, P-O-D, the number 4, Y-A-H, girl. Okay, Pod For Yah Girl. Use the code Pod For Yah Girl and get 50% off of any item. And yeah, go over to Afrentic right now and use the code Pod For Yah Girl. Get 50% off your t-shirt, your skirt, your skincare, your body wash, your body butter, whatever you like. And that is just a thank you and just a shout out for you being the Go Girl this week. I want to just say thank you and give you guys a little discount. So go shop right now. If you haven't shopped with Afrentic, this is the perfect time to do it and use the Pod For Yah Girl discount to do that. All right, but without further ado, I am giving you guys 3 ways that I combat restlessness. And this is going to be a simple episode. It's not going throughout all of our segments for today, but because our last episode was so popular and we talked about rest, I want to also talk about restlessness, which can also trigger anxiety. Have you ever felt restless? Have you ever just felt like you don't know what to do with your hands? You don't know what to do with your body? You don't know what to do with your eyes? You don't know what to do in a moment where you're in a room with people? I struggle with social anxiety sometimes. I don't know about y'all, but I'm just being honest and being real. And sometimes when I'm in a room with a whole bunch of people that, you know, I may want to impress, or I may want to like me, or I may want to build relationships with, I get a little restless and I kind of like, you know, start to fidget, or I may, you know, walk to one side of the room and walk back to another side of the room. I'm pacing. I don't know why. And these are 3 ways that I try to combat that. Number 1 is grounding yourself. Okay. This is a technique that, I'm not going to lie, I learned this technique in therapy, where you start grounding yourself is something where you stop focusing on the thing that's making you restless, and you try to find something in the room, you try to find something on you, you try to touch something that's going to help you center yourself and bring you back to reality. Let's just be real. Why are we even dealing with restlessness? Sometimes we deal with restlessness out of fear. Like I said, sometimes we deal with restlessness out of anxiety. Sometimes we deal with restlessness because we want to people please, okay? Sometimes we deal with restlessness because we're insecure and we're struggling with our own self-worth and our own self-anxiety. And grounding yourself and becoming aware that in this moment, I am restless. In this moment, I don't know what to do. In this moment, I am struggling with people pleasing. In this moment, let me touch something. Let me, look at something. Let me pull up a scripture. Let me focus and center myself and ground myself and call this thing what it is. Call this thing out. Call it out and say, in this moment, I am struggling with restlessness, but don't stop there. Now that you've grounded yourself, you touched something, you focused on the fact that you are aware that in this moment you are restless and you don't know what to do. Now you need to even go a step deeper and say, what is the root of my restlessness? Hello. What's up, girl? Yes, I'm talking to you. Did you hit the subscribe button yet? All right, y'all, take a second, pause this video and go subscribe to the channel. Subscribe right now, because guess what? When you subscribe, you are helping us over here. You are helping your girl to just go forward and do the thing that God has called her to do. So if you want to be a help, if you want to help, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow our community here at Pod For Yah Girl. Listen, this podcast is for you. Yes, you, girl. So go ahead and subscribe and join the community. All right, I'm super excited. I know you hit that subscribe button. I'm excited to welcome you to the community, and I'm excited to just have you join in on the conversation. All right, y'all, let's get back to the episode. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. There you go. Why am I fidgeting? Why am I pacing back and forth? Why am I, restless in this moment? And start to say to yourself, I don't have to people please. You know what? I'm going to take my time and I'm going to wait. And I'm going to say, let me see who comes to me. Let me see, who wants to meet me. I'm somebody too. Can you say that? I'm somebody too. If you're in a space where you are struggling with social anxiety, or you are struggling with restlessness because you don't necessarily know what to do or how to act or how to move, stop trying to be something that you're not and just be who you are. Instantly, that is going to take the pressure off. That's number two. That's number one. Number two is reading, okay? Reading scripture, reading a book, reading a poem, going back and reading. I have a prayer journal that I created myself. And if y'all don't journal, I'm going to put the link right here down below so that you guys can actually tap in and purchase my prayer journal. But sometimes I journal in my prayer journal, and what it does is it has a space where you can write down your prayer points. Then it has a space where you can read scripture, and then it has a space where you can actually write down your prayer, okay? Write down your prayer and journal. God, this is my prayer for the day based on these prayer points. And sometimes I like to go back and I like to read those prayers. And whenever I'm feeling restless at home, so the first tip was for when you're feeling restless in a room with people, social anxiety and stuff like that. But when I'm feeling restless at home and I have a lot of overwhelming thoughts and I have a lot of things that's coming up, emotions, feelings, insecurities and stuff, I like to stop and read. Scripture is really good, but I love to go back and read my prayers in my prayer journal. Why? Because it reminds me this is where you were 2 days ago. You prayed for this thing. You wrote down this prayer. Trust and believe that God is going to see it through. And whenever I take time to read my prayer journals, it is actually another way of grounding, but it does seem to calm me down and make me feel like, God, I'm reminded that you are on my side and you are going to be with me every step of the way. Okay. Number 3, this one, y'all might not like this one, but whenever I feel overwhelmed or I start to feel that sense of restlessness, I have to start talking to myself and encouraging myself and really talking to myself like I'm a boss. The reason why I said that y'all may not like this one is because we can sometimes struggle with seeing ourselves how God sees us. And it's so easy to see ourselves as, less than. It's so easy to see ourselves in the current state that we're in. It's so easy to see ourselves in the state of stress or in the state of whatever we're living out in that moment. Maybe the kids are yelling or maybe, the dog is barking, or maybe, your bank account looks a certain type of way, or maybe your friends aren't talking to you, or maybe you did something wrong. And it's so easy to be restless about these thoughts that's going on in your minds or the things that's happening around you. And so you're caught up with your current situation. And the reason why I said people might not like this is because it takes work to imagine yourself not in that current space. It takes work to stop and say, this is who I really am. I am a boss. I am a leader. I am who God said that I am. I am great. I am wonderful. I am coming out. I am going to be better. My best days are ahead of me, and everything that is going on right now in this moment, I'm not going to live here. If you want to live in your current situation and you feel like your best days are not coming, get off this podcast right now. This podcast is not for you. This podcast is for the women who believe that their better days are ahead of them and they are ready to grow. They're ready to go. They're ready to do something different in their life that's going to elevate them and change their life forever. And so if you want to stay stuck in your current situation, and your woe is me, in your brokenness, in your sadness, in your depression, in your anxiety, in your stress, in your trauma, in your the back of your mind, you're never going to be good enough, get off this podcast right now. This is not for you. Everyone here, we are committing to the grow up. We are committing to the new days that are ahead of us. We are committing to the plans that God has for us. He said when you were in your mother's womb, he knew you and he formed you. So that means he knew you and formed you knowing that this day was going to come. So you can't live in this current situation. You got to find a way to speak life to yourself. So I speak to myself like I'm a boss. Ugochi, get up. You are a boss. Boss up. Boss up. Do what God called you to do. Say yes to what tasks you put on your calendar today, and say no to the stress, say no to the worrying, say no to everything that the enemy is trying to push into your mind to cause you to fail. Failure is not an option. And you got to tell yourself that. You got to tell yourself that my best days are ahead of me and failure is not an option. And so the only way that you're going to grow up and you're going to combat restlessness is if you start to talk to yourself like you are a boss. Sometimes, bosses have it the hardest because everything is going to fall on you. If the business is not successful, if the some of y'all are bosses of your household. You manage your household. You make sure the kids get into school on time. You make sure they got lunch. You make sure the groceries stocked. And if it ain't groceries in the fridge, it's gonna fall on you. And sometimes you got to talk to yourself like you are a mom boss or a wife boss or whatever your current situation is. And don't let the fact that the kids are screaming, you don't know where their shoes at, you don't know where the finances coming from the growth for the groceries is gonna, whatever the case may be. Don't live in your current situation. That's what's causing you to be restless. But talk to yourself like you're coming out, you see yourself coming out, and you're going to be greater on the other side. Okay. And yeah, so that's the episode for today. Y'all already know this is a mini episode. Like I said, those are the 3 ways that I combat my restlessness. And this is grow up season, y'all. We in our grow up season, and I just want to encourage each and every one of y'all to grow up. Make sure you take advantage of the Pod For Yah Girl discount code on my website, Afrentic.com. And also make sure you go get a prayer journal. I'll put the link right below so that you can start journaling your prayers and you can use that to combat restlessness. I love you guys. Go girl, go girl, go girl. Keep going. Keep on doing what God called you to do. You are amazing. You are wonderful. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. All right. Peace out.
Pop for your girl.
That's right. It's a podcast.
It's pop for your girl.
We got to go live.
Pop for your girl.